Today I'm going to be trying on the makeup products I received in 2 different beauty subscriptions in the month of November. Alright, I've pinned my hair up and zoomed in so we can get started. The first product I'm going to be testing out is from Origins. This here is a GinZing SPF 30. I got this in my Ipsy Icon box. This is what she looks like. It's quite tiny, and if my memory serves right, I want to say this retails for $38. It was not safety sealed. That's what she looks like. It has a soft, gentle scent, and hopefully this will work kind of as, I don't want to say a primer, but in the real world, I just toss on SPF after I do my skincare and don't have time to actually use a primer. So I'll go straight in with foundation right on top. So this is more a real world situation that, you know, probably most of us actually experience. All right, while I let that settle in, I'm gonna grab one of 2 lip products I received because my lips are super dry. I got the KYLIE matte lipstick in my Allure box and the LYS Speak Love lip product in my Ipsy Icon. I have a feeling the matte lipstick from KYLIE is going to be drying, and right now I need moisture. So let's test out this lip product from LYS. Alright, that's what she looks like. I have it in the shade Sincere. First, let's do a swatch of each lip product right next to each other. Alright, here we have the LYS, and here is the KYLIE. So let's go in with the LYS and see how she does. It feels comfortable. It's not super glossy, but it's not dry like a liquid lipstick. She's comfortable. All right, before I go on to the next product, I forgot to do this one. Okay, so this is the new perfume from Fenty, and I want to say it's just called Fenty. This is what she looks like. This is a 10 ml travel size. Retails for $39, and I received this in my $25 Allure box. So it has a very nice, you know, typical spritzer. This one has grown on me. It isn't my typical scent, and when you first spray it, it kind of smells good, and then you catch a little, I don't know, it's like, what is that? But this is the type of scent that once it sits on your skin, and like an hour later, I keep picking it up and like, ooh, what is that? I like it. I like it. So hard to explain, but if you've smelled some of the products from Fenty, it doesn't smell exact, but it gives those vibes that just, I don't know, fruity, soft floral, more fruity than floral scent. If you are in an Ulta or possibly Sephora and you see it, give it a test sniff. All right, this is the next product I'm super excited to give a try. I love complexion products. This here is from KVD, and it's the Good Apple Full Coverage Serum Foundation. And this I received in my Ipsy Icon box. This packaging is gorgeous. This is thick glass, and it has a raised design on both sides, including the lid. It comes with a pump, and I have it in the shade Light 008. So I'm going to put some on my face sparingly. By the way, it is quite liquidy. It's definitely a serum foundation. Somebody told me that to use this sparingly, so I'm going to do that, or what I consider sparingly. Mileage may vary, so I'm going to start with that amount, which was just 2 little squirts on both fingers here. And let's try a brush on one side and a damp sponge on the other just to see. Typically the thinner the formula, a brush works better, but let's see how she does. That little bit is spreading out beautifully. When I hear full coverage, it always kind of scares me because I have extremely dry skin, and typically full coverage is matte, which makes me look extra dry, but we shall see. So far, feels nice. What does she look like? I will be able to tell better in editing because these bright lights are a little bright. Alright, so I'm going to take a damp sponge on this side. I predict the damp sponge is going to pick up most of that product, but let's see if it blends out. Alright, I definitely got better coverage on the side using the brush than with a sponge, but that's to be expected. I would not consider that full coverage. Look at my dark spots. Like, but to be fair, I went in very light-handed, so let's add a little more and see if she's buildable, and then we will move on to the next product, which I have, I don't want to say concerns. The shade is, you'll see. All right, we're going to tap that on. I would definitely say using a brush is better. This shade is like half a shade too light, but we will be warming up the skin with a bronzer, so that doesn't worry me. I must say, it feels fantastic. Like, it's not tacky, it's not sticky, my skin doesn't feel dry. It immediately kind of settled down. I almost want to say like a liquid to powder. Don't quote me on that, but it's like immediately you can touch your, face and you don't get any icky, like what's on my hand. Okay, so on to the next product, which I also received in my Ipsy Icon box. It's from Dominique Beauty Cosmetics, Dominique something. This is the cream bronzer, and I have it in the shade Light Tan, and that's what Light Tan looks like. But let's just try a more dense brush, grab a little, and go to town. And I do have a damp sponge in case chaos ensues, but let's just tap, get a little going there. This is the product I was referring to earlier that I think isn't quite the best shade for me. It's a little too orange for my personal taste. Also, it's a little darker than maybe what I would select, being fair. And this foundation is quite fair, a little too light for me. So that is an interesting combination. I don't know that using that damp sponge was best. Let me grab a dry sponge, because I find using a dry sponge with cream cheek products works best, because it really presses into the skin, blends it out, and pulls back a little, like if you go a little too ham like I did. So already that sponge, the dry one, has solved the situation. Okay, no, your eyes are not freaking out. I just realized I'm like looking in the mirror. I'm like, looks pretty good. Looking at my little viewfinder, I was looking like Casper the Ghost. So I went and checked, and I accidentally turned my ring light up to 75%, and I turned it back down to 70%, which is what I've been filming with for eons. Anyways, hopefully we're better now, and now we can move on to the scary for me product. And that is the Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Definer. I have it in the shade Taupe. This was in my Allure box, and I was able to select my shade, which is, I think, appropriate in Taupe. One end has a spoolie, and let's just spool them on up. And why I mentioned, in case anyone's new, why this is a scary product is because I don't do my brows, but I think it's time I need to start doing that. So I'm going to try to quickly go through it, maybe just do one eye and then off camera do the second eye, because yeah, I don't know what I'm doing. All right, so this has a triangle tip. Let's first do a swatch. Okay, so I'm pressing quite hard, and yeah, it took a while. Maybe it just needed to warm up, but I think this taupe is going to be a really good shade for me. All right, which eyebrow? Let's do this one. Hopefully you can see. So I'm just gonna, I don't know, like I mentioned, I don't know what I'm doing. Okay, so with the little triangle, you can turn it a certain way and get a tip just to make little like brush strokes. And did that do anything? All right, we're just gonna put a little there. And then where I'm noticing I'm kind of thinning is on the tail. So we'll just add a little there, and maybe get a little arch going and put a little there. And all of you who normally do your brows are like gasping because I'm certain I did that wrong. All right, good enough for me. Let's take the spoolie end and see if brushing it will kind of blend that color into my skin and the hairs. All right, what do we think? This eye versus that eye. All right, almost done. Hang in there. So I got 2 eyeshadow palettes in my Ipsy Icon box. I was able to select this one from Pat McGrath Labs, and Ipsy put the Tartelette Juicy palette in my box. Let's take a look at both, and obviously I won't be able to use both. Well, I could, but I'm going to save one for a get ready with me or a separate eye look video. Okay, so here is the Pat McGrath. Look how beautiful those colors are. And here is the Tartelette Juicy palette. All right, so I think I know what I'm going to do. Since I own a lot of Tarte products, I think I'm going to keep the Tarte one to do a separate like full face of Tarte makeup and highlight that eyeshadow palette. And let's go in with the Pat McGrath. All right, here are the swatches. This is beautiful. However, the 2 matte shades are not super light or good for transition or for like the brow bone. So I think I actually will use a few colors in this Tarte palette just to get the eye look started. And don't worry, I will come back and still do a full eye look with the Tarte palette. I'm just going to go into this super soft kind of beigey pink and get that all over the crease, and then move on over to the Pat McGrath palette because her colors were a little darker than I just normally go straight in with a red, you know. Ooh, this is one of those colors that is deceiving. It looks lighter in the pan than it does on my lids. It's a beautiful color, don't get me wrong. I'm just it was like matched by skin tone. It's a little darker, but that's okay. All right, so there's the Tarte. Now moving on to Pat McGrath. All right, let's go into the lightest shade and get that on the outer edge here. And we'll just lay that down. Ooh, those two, the Tarte and the Pat McGrath are playing really well together. Okay, ooh. There's some fallout, but to be fair, I didn't tap. Ooh, that is quite a lot. So make sure you tap, tap, tap with pat, pat, pat. Okay, that was cheesy, yet it rhymed. I'm also not getting the same color payoff because I didn't tap on one eye. All right, we'll just match the fallout on both sides because why not? All right, that is really pretty. It's a lot darker than I normally wear. So I'm not going anywhere, that's fine. And not that dark is bad, it's just, you know, when you're used to softer eye looks and it gets a little deeper, it just makes you go, I think I need to go out on the town or something because this is not a day-to-day look. All right, I went a little heavy-handed, so what I'm going to do is just take a denser, fluffy, clean brush and just really blend down the harsh edges there. Just dragging it. We'll pick up some of the like foundation and whatnot and just kind of soften it just a little bit there. Alrighty. And then I will definitely be cleaning up the sides. I know a lot of people do their eye look first. I don't know why, but I always put my foundation and I get it on my eyelids. So I fear if I do my eye look first, I'm going to get foundation or concealer on my eye look. I just do it in this order. Everyone does it different and it doesn't really matter. Now we're going to go into the deepest matte shade, which it's scaring me from the standpoint of these shades of kind of brick red with a little purple undertones can sometimes make me look like a zombie. They're beautiful. It's just, I don't know, my coloring, my undertones, something about some red shades, purple shades in particular, or reds with purpley undertones, make me look ill. So leave me a comment and let me know if you have the same experience. And if you think this kind of makes me look ill. All right. It's beautiful though. I'm going to take that same darker and just kind of, did I already do this? I'm having a memory issue right now. All right. Do that. And now I'm going to grab a clean, fluffy brush and just really blend. It's all about blending. You don't want harsh edges. And I am not an MUA in case you haven't figured that out by now. But I do watch a lot of beauty experts, MUAs, etc. I've been doing this for 5 years. So I've just learned tips and tricks that I like to pass along. Not that I came up with them or know exactly what I'm doing, but I can repeat the words and the theory and process, and hopefully you can execute better than I can. All right, let's check out these shimmer shades. I don't know how they're gonna do with a brush, but let's give it a try. If not, we will go in with our fingers and take the darkest one and kind of get it on the outer third right here. Yeah, I think we're gonna try a finger next. That's what she looks like. It's gorgeous. I also don't know if maybe like a glitter glue might help. They're not glittery, but I don't know. Okay, yes, definitely applies better with a finger. Probably the oils in your fingers, but that is beautiful. All right, now I'm gonna go into the middle shade right here. Rinse and repeat, but I'm gonna place this more in the center. Get those two blend. Ooh, yes, that is beautiful. All right, last but not least, let's go in with the lightest kind of gold champagne shade. It's more gold in real life, and if I can get it in the appropriate place without accidentally, what's that game, Twister? Oh no! All right, at least I didn't get it. I don't know. Of all the places to boo-boo, that was like the perfect spot. It was just above my eyebrow, but we will fix that with some concealer. All right. Take 2 on trying to get that. I'm going to use my left hand so I don't have to bridge and do some weird twistering. All right. Let's get that right there. Ooh, went a little heavy-handed. Yes, very heavy-handed. Okay, that's okay. I'm going to take a clean brush and get that. Wow, okay. So, here's the issue. I have fat fingers, and some of these shimmers, not just Pat McGrath, other brands, they don't pick up very well on the brush. Now, the old me would have sprayed it with setting spray. But then I've heard, oh, that can make your pans go hard. But not a lot of product picks up on a dry brush, and then you spray it after. I don't know. So my point is, don't worry if you boo-boo. Just grab a clean brush. Blend, 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 blend. And the eye look probably won't look like what you envision in your head, but at least you won't have a big old clunk kind of to the side of your nose. You can fix it. So I would say, as a non-MUA, I've become a pro at fixing messes. All right, I'm going to apply eyeliner, touch up my mascara, get a brow bone shade and highlighter on, and then I'll come back and do the final lip product. All right, I'm back, hair clip out. I have formed some final thoughts. I also did some touch-ups as I was off camera. Let me walk you through everything I did. So I touched up my mascara, added eyeliner. There wasn't a shade that would work well in the inner corner, so I just used the highlighter there. I did my brow bones with the highlighter. Here are my thoughts on this lipstick. First of all, I'm not a fan of the shade. It's also, I've only had it on while I was filming. It's been probably 40 minutes. It's no longer slippy. It's not dry, but it's getting there. I don't know. I guess I always wear lip gloss, so I'm used to being able to purse my lips easily, and I really can't. Also, I don't know if it's faded or darkened, but it's not my favorite shade. Here is the KYLIE, the last product I need to test out. Should I take this other one off? I'm just going to go on top. This on top of the other one is a much better kind of shade match for the eye look, but I'd say neither are shades I'm going to reach for. This one's also very dry, but again, it's a liquid lipstick, and I don't like liquid lipsticks because they feel dry. But there is one way to fix that. Just grab a lip gloss and throw it on top. It will work, but it stains your doe foot, and it's an extra step, which is probably why I always go for satin lipsticks or just glosses that have color. Because I'm a lazy girl. I like slippy and shiny, so adding that gloss already made my lips look and feel 1,000 times better. All right, so here's the final look. What are our thoughts? Here are my final thoughts. So as far as the Pat McGrath palette goes, she's pretty. For me personally, using all of these shades like I did today is not the best, I don't think, for my skin tone, how fair I am. However, a lot of these shimmers are gorgeous, and I could see myself reaching for this to mix in with colors or shades from other palettes. But just as a go-to, like I thought, like perfect size, I'll travel with it. Not so much, at least not for me. This lip product, it's a pass. Shade, I'm not into salmony, peachy, orange shades, and it's too drying. But if you like a good dry matte for color that will like stay all day, you would probably love that product. The LYS lip product, I had such high hopes. In the tube, the shade is lighter than it ends up being on my lips. It also, when you first apply it, seems kind of satiny, but then it definitely dries down and becomes more of a matte. Again, not my favorite type of formulation. The ABH Brow Definer, I will not speak to it because I'm not one to do my brows, but let me know, how did I do and what do you think of that product? The Origins SPF, it's an SPF. Felt nice on the skin. The makeup didn't have any issues over top. And most importantly, it did not creep into and sting my eyes. The Dominique's Cosmetics Cream Bronzer, sadly, I'm not a fan, mainly because it's super orange. And it also didn't blend the best. Now that could be my application methods, but super cute packaging. I will try it again, but first impression, I'm not a fan. The KVD foundation. They claim this is full coverage. No, unless you're supposed to use like 3 or 4 squirts, because I can still see some redness, freckles. In fact, off screen, my nose was looking very red. I don't know if it's one of those products that doesn't stick to the nose very well. So I put a little bit extra on top of my nose. I'm going to try it again. I mean, it's not bad. It feels very comfortable. But their claim that it's full coverage, I question that. Not that not having full coverage is a bad thing, but if you're going to claim it on the box, you better perform. That's all I'm saying. So the Fenty, it smells nice. I can't describe fragrances. I'm going to list what the notes are, but again, if you're ever in a store and you see this, give it a sniff. It's fruity, has some other elements. It's the type that I don't know that I'd put it on if I'm going out, you know, nice dinner, big celebration. I have other scents that I prefer, but this is a good day-to-day scent, and it settles in, and the longer you have it on, the better it smells. Or at least that's been my experience. Last but not least, we have the Tarte Lit Juicy palette. I only use one shade, cannot speak to it, but I will be doing a full eye look using this palette in the near future. All right, if you made it this far, leave me a snowflake emoji. And I love seeing who actually sticks out and watches my entire videos. I really appreciate you because that adds view time, which YouTube appreciates. So thank you. And speaking of thanks, I want to thank each and every one of you for watching my videos. If you could do me a big favor, I would love if you would subscribe. For those who have, thank you so much. Remember to click that bell icon so you can be notified of future videos. And if you could do me a huge favor, clicking the thumbs up, it really does help with my channel to grow. All right, thanks everyone.